What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Too Far Out TV YouTube channel. It's been some time. I haven't made a video in a couple months, but excited to make this one here today. Got some big things to share. So I'm making this video for any parent or really any person who has ever felt like they have been rejected from their family or from their kid's life or something based on a power dynamic or based on what other people have to think or say about the situation. I just want to share that I've been doing my best to show up for myself and for my son since he's been born. And when he was born, I wasn't really ready. I wasn't really available mentally, emotionally, spiritually yet. But that didn't mean I wasn't ready to start figuring those things out, you know. I love my son. His name is Parker. And recently I just flew across the country from California to Ohio to come show up for my son for his birthday party. I brought him presents across the country from some place he's never been before. I brought him some real cool gifts, and yeah, and when I got to my son's birthday party, I was told that I was not allowed to bring my wife to my son's birthday party. And I didn't really feel like that was a fair judgment, because this is like my wife and we're each other's support. We are in a legally bound relationship, and showing up for my son and showing up for my wife and for my family means me showing up how I should, yeah. And when I got to the party, I was greeted by one of my family members who was telling me that I could not bring my wife into the party. And granted, the party was at a park, right? It was outside, public space. And I didn't engage with that, because I felt like it's true for me to show up with my wife to my son's birthday party. Even though my wife, it's not biologically my wife's kid, she's my wife, you know, and I made the judgment call for her to be my wife and for her to show up. And I would have made sure that she would have been a good suitor for not only myself, but for my son. And yeah, and so as I got to this party to bring presents to my son, I realized that it wasn't just the one family member, it was multiple family members who did not want me to be there because I brought my wife. And so as I'm like trying to deliver presents to my son, giving my son presents, I had multiple family members telling me that I need to leave or that what I'm doing is not okay. And in creating conflict and drama within the party. Okay, now I understand we both played roles. I showed up in the way that I felt like was true, and they showed up in the way that they felt like was true, right? And I'm not here to blame anybody. We can all be who we are. The point of this video is to show up for myself and to show up for other people who may have been in a similar situation, okay? So this video is for you if you've ever felt like you've been neglected, if you ever felt like you've been like kind of pushed out of your family because of your choices, when you think that you're making the best choices for not only yourself, but for your family, okay? Nobody in my family tried to reach out to talk to me, to ask me questions about how I'm doing or about the choices that I've been making. No one's tried to understand. Nobody has tried to get to know my wife or to meet her. And over the last couple of years, it's been the same kind of energy without my wife being present. It's just been me showing up in this way. And I'll be honest, I haven't been showing up the best, but I've been doing my best. Working with what I can, with the support that I have, working with God, working with what I think is true for me to work with in my life. And showing up to this party where I would say like a big majority of my own family My own family decided that what I was doing was not okay, and that I wasn't, or my wife wasn't allowed to be at this party. And during the time where there was people talking over each other, trying to tell me that what I was doing was not okay. They were getting pretty riled up. And I'm sitting down in front of my son telling everybody, my intention here is not to fight, it's to show up as his dad. I flew across the country to deliver these presents to my son, and you guys are making a big fuss about this. I showed up to deliver presents to my son, and as I'm doing it, people are literally talking over me, over the situation, over each other, to tell me that what I'm doing is not okay. When I was not causing a threat, I'm sitting down calmly to deliver presents to my son. My wife was standing right by me, not really even saying anything, doing her best to not engage in the drama. And during that time, somebody who is not me took my son and walked my son away from me, away from the conflict and drama that was being created because people didn't agree with what I was doing. So they took my son and walked him away from me, my son away from me, someone who's not even related to him, took him away from me because I was causing problems or was creating a threat at this party. I just want to say that was kind of a painful moment, to know that I am his dad, and there were multiple people around me threatening to call the cops, telling me that what I'm doing is not okay, and taking my own son and walking him away from me to avoid the conflict, which was being created from these people who are taking him away from me. Please understand what I'm saying. I did not come to fight. I came to show up for my son. I flew across the country to deliver presents to my son with peace and love in my heart. And somebody else walked him away from me to avoid conflict and drama. I did my best to stay cool during this situation. Okay? I did my best to stay cool during this situation, because at this point, it's now me versus them. When I'm trying to show up in peace, which means everybody is one unit. We are family. There's no reason to create division. We can all get along. There's enough love for everybody. We don't have to fight over it. Okay? But I was very hurt, because if I were to, the only things that I could do is start to get mad, which is almost what it felt like was happening. Was I was being baited to have an emotional reaction, right? Because if my whole family is telling me what I'm doing is not cool, how am I supposed to react? Someone else is walking my kid away from me because apparently he has more authority or more of an idea of how the situation should have been handled than I do, or because we didn't communicate effectively. And communication is key within family dynamics, right? So we should have been able to talk about this, but we didn't. It was he said, she said, and started pointing fingers without trying to understand. There was no curiosity. It was just blame. It was deflection. It was misunderstanding. That's what was created at this party, because nobody tried to understand or to connect. And when I tried to connect and make things more communicative and open and inject love into the situations, I get shot down. When I try to bring reason and logic into situations, it still doesn't work. So I'm not, first of all, love, joy, enlightenment, those are the highest vibrations. So I'm going to stay in that and not really try to reason and logic through all of this. But even reason and logic wasn't working. Okay. This was painful for me, because I wasn't going to sit there and raise a big stink. I wasn't going to start yelling at people. you got to do it this way. Da, 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 da. No, I'm not about to do that. Not in front of my son. I'm not about to get reactive. I'm not about to start getting mad. When this man took my son away into a different part of the park, my wife and I followed behind, and at a point I said, you know what, okay, her and I talked, and because they didn't want her to be there, she was willing to walk away and let me go deliver the presents to my son one-on-one in an individual space. So I walked over there and I gave the presents to my son, and I said, son, I want you to know that I love you, and I did not come here to cause drama. I came across the country to deliver presents to you because I love you. No matter what anybody says, no matter what people are doing, I love you, and I just want you to know that. I gave him his presents. He opened the presents, he enjoyed them, and you know what he said to me? He just was like, okay, cool, can this be over now? He's frustrated because he can feel the effects of the drama. He can feel the energy that was happening at the party. He was upset too. Now, I may have played a role by bringing my ex or my wife, right? But I brought her because I felt like it was true for me to do so, even if other people didn't agree. Even if people didn't understand, it felt true for me to do that. I used to play quiet. I used to play small. I used to hide. I used to shut my mouth because I was afraid that other people would get mad at me. I held a space within the family that said, I have to be quiet. I'm the black sheep. They don't like me. And I used to follow all of their rules. I used to do everything they told me to do because I didn't want to raise tension. I didn't want to cause conflict and all of this stuff. And I'm over that. I'm over it. I am going to show up for myself, for my wife, for my son, for my actual family every single time. When someone in my family needs help, I will be there. If they call on me, I will be there. I can't be there if I don't know that you need help though, all right? Even if you have given me grief in the past, I would still show up for you because I'm not like that. I have so much love to give. I have so much love to give. There is enough of me to go around, but I also have to keep my boundaries intact, and I can't just give all my love away. I have to keep myself safe. I have to keep myself in my own pocket. Do you understand? I have to show up for myself first before I can show up for other people. So this video, again, is not to point fingers, it's not to blame, it's not to accuse, it's to share my side of the story. Because for too long, I have been hush hush, quiet quiet. I can't talk about these things because people are gonna get upset. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to break patterns, I'm here to break cycles, I'm here to break trauma, I'm here to break down the system that was once alive in my family and in my community and show them that there is a new way. A way that we do not have to give ourselves away to impress other people, to make other people happy. That's over with. I'm gonna take care of myself so that you don't have to, but you better take care of yourself so that I don't have to. You understand? I'm not going to shrink to make other people feel better anymore. I'm going to show up in the way that I feel like is true, authentic, genuine for myself every time. And showing up for myself first is going to change a little bit. Things might shift around me. People might look at me in a new light. People might not understand what I'm doing, and that's okay. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm here to impress myself, and I'm here to follow what God is telling me to do. And it might look messy to some people. People might not understand. People might get angry, and that's okay with me. I'm willing to put myself out there now. I'm not willing to tolerate disrespect. I'm not willing to tolerate petty behaviors because people can't communicate. If you've ever felt like the black sheep in your family, if you've ever felt shut out, if you've ever felt like power dynamics are trying to control you or put you into your place, this video's for you. You don't have to do that. You get to show up for yourself every single time. You get to show up for exactly what you believe in every single time, no matter what people say. You don't have to listen to them. You just got to be right with you and God, you and your higher self, you and the universe, whatever you want to call it. You just need to be cool with you and your God. Okay? Listen, family, I love you. Listen, friend, I love you. Listen, stranger, I love you. If you need anything, reach out. Type in the comments, like the video. Look, this is where the black sheep rise up. You understand? This is where we take our power back. We're not doing this no more. We're gonna rise above. Big love to you. Peace.